very excited about this reading. I'm an Aquarius myself. So first of all, let me relay the messages or the images that I saw. There are some messages too. They correlate with the images. So let me talk about the two images that came out when I was shuffling the cards. First of all, I see this notebook. Okay, it's like legal pad. That's what it looks like. It flips up over the top, and you kind of fold it under the bottom, and then you start writing on it. And I see a woman's hand like flipping through the pages. Um, so there are like some blue lines across the page, okay? And the lines are so that you can write straight. And the lines have been stained with water, and it smears, right? And so she's trying to flip through, trying to find a clean page, but the water seeps from the top of the pages to the bottom of the pages. So like it seeps from one page to the next. So she's flipping, the first page is really smeared, all the blue lines are smeared. So she flips to the next page, and it has smear marks as well, a little bit less. And she keeps flipping, so I feel like she has to flip like almost 10 pages before she reaches a blank new page without any smudge marks, without any discoloration. And she then rips off all the previous pages that have been soiled, and she starts writing on the pad. So this image, to me, what it really screams out literally and figuratively is just a blank new page, okay? A brand new page. And there are three cards in the deck that pretty much coincides with this image. So I feel like this is a really wonderful month for you, where you're able to get a lot of closure on things. You're able to understand why things happen the way they did so that you can move forward. One of the things that really plague air signs is not knowing the cause for something, not knowing the reason behind why something happens. And so we tend to dwell on it. We tend to, run through the whole gamut of like different scenarios and so that we can explain to ourselves, what exactly happened? How do we make sense of something? But as soon as we're able to get the answers, I feel like it's just like that. It's like the snap of a finger. We're able to move on. As long as we know, as long as we understand, as long as we can make sense of a situation, then I definitely feel like we can move on. So let me talk about the cards here that indicate to me the new page, okay? So we have the Fool, starting on a brand new journey, leaving a lot of baggage, emotional, physical, mental baggage behind, so that you can begin anew in the 2020 timeframe. We also have as well the Ace of Pentacles, which signifies to me, for many of you, this is a new job that's coming into alignment for you. So for those who have been manifesting a new job, a new location, and especially kind of like a career building type of a job, because with the Ace of Pentacles, it's the seed, it's the beginning of something that you can, nurture and water and watch it grow. So I feel like it's not just, some job like that you pick up just to get by. This has a lot of um, potential for growth, potential for expansion, and more than anything, potential for stability, okay? This is like a career track. This is something that you feel really stable, and you feel like it's going to grow, it's going to get bigger and bigger, and I do feel that your professional life is really going to be taking off, okay? We have as well the Sun, which indicates success, getting a lot of positive attention. Okay, so I feel like for many of you, if you are starting a new job, this is pretty much where you're meant to be. The Sun energy, when you look at it through the realm of astrology, okay, if you're looking at it through like an astrological framework, it rules the 10th house, and the 10th house is your public image, how other people see you, how they gravitate towards you, as well as like the work that you're doing. Is there meaning to the work that you're doing? Are you finding emotional satisfaction? Do you feel like it's something that you can, identify with you're proud of the work that you produce. You're proud of coming to work every day. I feel like in this combination with the Ace of Pentacles, which is, a very, very stable new job, as well as the Sun, it indicates that you're going to be really excelling at this job because spiritually, it's where you're meant to be. You're going to make your mark on the world. You're going to be able to be very visible with the work that you're doing. You might even have like speaking engagement where you're kind of like telling people, a lot of people, about exactly what you're doing. And I also feel like advocating for the work. Okay, advocacy comes in very strongly here, because I do sense that you're going to be in the limelight. You're going to talk a lot. You're going to be promoting. You're going to be even advocating for why you're doing the work that you do, not in the spirit of defense, but in the spirit of sharing your knowledge and, being called upon to talk about. It's almost like you're an expert in your field. Somebody comes in and tells you, hey, can we have a panel discussion? And you talk about what you're doing. I feel like it's in, along the lines of that, where you're talking about the work and you're talking about it to inspire other people. So I feel like there's a major career jump for many of you. You could get a lot of recognition in the work environment. People are happy with the products that you're bringing forth into the world. People are seeking you out as an expert. And also there's a lot of potential for longevity and growth. It's like, I see like, gradual promotions. Okay, it's an environment where you feel like, I don't mind doing this for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. And I feel that it's greatly like it's a great resume boost. It's a big jump in your public image, in your professional standing, as well as in your income. Okay, so this is really, really beautiful stuff, like coming in the month of December without you having to do a lot of the work. Because what I feel is you've been working very diligently to get yourself to this professional environment, and so all along the way, the legwork has been, I feel like the foundation has been laid. The legwork has been done from your end, and you've been working very, very diligently. So this seems to me almost like a spiritual reward, things coming full circle. And you're definitely in a major alignment here to achieve greatness when it comes to your work and your professional standing. Okay, so I see a big career jump. I see it's almost like I keep seeing that 10th house. Okay, the 10th house, once again, public image, career, work, dreams, aspirations as well. How you see yourself in the public sphere, in the public environment, how you want others to see you professionally. I feel like the light is being shown on this sector of your life, and things are really taking off for you. Okay, the other card that indicates to me the new beginnings as well, we have the Judgment card. This is brand new beginnings, contact, turning over a new page, literally, and starting to write your story. Okay, some of you could be writers, and you are contemplating heavily about creating your own memoir, and it requires a little bit of memory can be very slippery. Okay, especially because with time and distance, our memory, it's faulty. So I feel like some of you who are in the process of writing your memoir or creating your story, or making even a movie out of it, or a comic book or something like that, where you're publishing something very private about yourself and bringing it forth into the world, I do feel like you're going to have to go back and kind of like play out the facts and the scenarios in your mind to really try to capture its accuracy. So I do feel like that's going to be a challenge, but I also feel like this card, we have the bear and the egg, okay? And I love this deck. The imagery is beautiful, and I love the colors associated with it. What it means is, starting from the beginning, I do feel like there's a sense of like family and community coming together to recount stories, to tell tales, to kind of like as a collective try to remember what exactly happened. You're getting many different people's point of views in order to understand the totality of a situation. Okay, so this is a really beautiful card. But altogether, we have about 3 cards here that signifies to me major new beginnings, and try to manifest a lot of the things that we've been craving or we've been wanting for some time. And so I feel like you're in a very powerful, and things that you want to either improve upon, change about yourself, or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. It's a really powerful time. What we have are 2 luminaries. Okay, we have the star. This is your card, and let me show you what the star card looks like in this deck. It's beautiful. So it looks like an eagle. It's got the face of an eagle, and also the body of a woman. Okay, and these are purple flowers. They look like irises, and it's a water bearer. Okay, so this is the star, and this is wish fulfillment, things coming true for many of you. Okay, recognition as well. So with the sun and the star coming out in the same deck, I feel like not only is your professional life like lit up, I also feel like your spiritual and your emotional life are also finally coming into balance. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of amazing, I want to say peaceful, serene, but also like wishes that will be answered. Okay, that will be fulfilled for this month. Okay, you're in a period of luck. And funnily enough, we are transiting through the sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter, which deals with expansion, travel, even publication sometimes, and also I feel like it's bringing a lot of luck for you guys. So I do feel this is a great time for you to set pen to paper and start manifesting, writing down the things that you wish to achieve, and working towards those goals. Okay, so we have some major star and planetary alignments that actually will be very helpful for you as you get through this process. Okay, so that's what I'm sensing when it comes to your career and things like that. But I feel like for many of you, you're not really tuning into these readings, or especially my reading, with the intention of knowing about your career and where things are headed. You might want to, know a little bit about it, but I do feel one of the major draw here is you're still interested in the love aspect and the relationship aspect for many of you. So I'm sensing that, for the past few months since I restarted, the readings, a lot of the relationship readings, or a lot of the readings for Aquarius, tend to veer towards relationship. Even though, I don't do exclusive relationship readings, I try to touch on all the points, or especially things that come out prominently in the cards, and the relationship sector is the one area that keeps popping up month after month. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you are needing some information, needing some guidance, needing some clarity about your love situation, and I'm seeing it in this spread. First of all, there's another image that I saw for you, and it screams out relationship. Okay, so what I see is it looks to me like the 19 London, but the climate seems a little bit more, like a little warmer. So maybe France, maybe even south of France. So I see this woman on a balcony, and the balcony has like this really expensive drapery. She opens up the curtain, goes out into the balcony, and she's just, staring at things around her. Okay, it's a 2nd-story balcony. It opens up into a courtyard, and there's like a beautiful garden, and there's this man walking past. He's holding a violin. He looks like a performer, like a musician or a performer. He happens to see this woman, and he starts serenading her. He starts playing the violin, and he sings along. the words that come out, it sounds almost Italian. I can't make it out. Okay, so he's singing some really passionate love song to this woman on the balcony. She looks really, really wealthy, and she looks really just, very, she just looks really extravagant and very wealthy, like really clean and pretty, and just, so he's looking at her. There's like a moon in the background. And so I feel like she embodies this energy of the star. Okay. It's something out there, shiny, twinkling. We all want to hold it in the palm of our hands, but it's very far away, and it's always a little bit elusive and out of reach. Okay. So this is the image that I was getting when I saw that card, when I saw that image, of the man serenading this woman. She looks at him, she enjoys the music, but she's not 100% like immersed in his song, okay? So I feel like he's really, really trying to serenade this woman. He feels like very inspired, so he sings to her, he sings about her, and I can't make out the words that he's singing. It sounds almost Italian. Um, and yet, he's on the bottom floor, she's on the balcony, one floor up, and she has other things on her mind. She's listening to his music, but not like, I guess like she is impressed, but I guess she's flattered, but she's not overly immersed in it. Okay, so what I do feel is, there's definitely somebody in your environment who is trying to get your attention. Okay, and the two characters are looking straight on at each other. We have here the King of Wands. This is a really beautiful depiction of it. It's someone who's very regal. It's somebody who's very proud. Somebody who, it's like I almost feel this energy about like, a predator, not in a bad way, not in a creepy, um, pouncing on you type of a way. Okay, this is somebody who is, who has muscles, who has strength, who has stamina, who can outlast his prey. Okay, but the energy with this crown and the way it's depicted is, it's somebody who's very, very comfortable and very sure of themselves. They know their capabilities. They know I feel like, someone who's very good with timing. They know when to pounce. They know when to hold back. They know when to observe. And so I feel like it's somebody who has really strong charisma, and who has a really good read on other people, who has good situational awareness, and who is highly, highly visual. Okay, like visual, like they like looking at pretty things. They like looking. I feel like you're very visually stunning to look at, for based on the way this person sees you. You're very, very stunning to look at. They like looking at you. They're probably very attracted to you because they're looking straight at each other. Okay, and I also feel, okay, so coming from different worlds, this is a land animal, and this is, a hawk and eagle, somebody that is airy. So this is like your card, and the person is looking dead at you. Okay, I don't feel a predatory stance or vibe from this combination. I just feel that you're both heavily, heavily looking at each other. So I feel like there has been some type of contact that has been made. And I almost feel like feelings that has been shown between you and another person. But the way both of these figures are situated, they're both reclining. They're both very laid back. And so I feel like no one is really acting on their instinct, or no one is really acting on this passion that's really felt between two people. Okay, so you're looking at each other from afar. You could be looking at each other through social media. You could be, wondering about each other, wondering what the other person's up to, and things like that. And I also feel there's heavy, like, telepathic almost communication between two people where they're very much in sync. Okay, so I feel that for some of you, there could be somebody who has made their feelings known towards you You have made your feelings known towards them, and now it's the waiting game. And I'm seeing here a situation where there might have been some type of miscommunication, where you think that the ball's in their court, now they need to act on it, but they also think that the ball's in your court, that you need to act on it. So I feel like there might have been some mismatch when it comes to communication, or some miscommunication that needs to be kind of like cleared up, okay? And this is the month where things are going to get cleared up between you and this person. For others of you, I do feel like I'm hearing the message that I'm hearing here is, because they're looking at each other, but no words are being exchanged between the two of them. I feel like a compromise, okay? Somebody is looking for a compromise. Somebody is wanting a compromise, or trying to find a way to compromise. It's like, I want this, you want this. How do we meet halfway? And Aquarius, you guys are extremely stubborn. And I mention this in every video. And I feel like that here is we have the Two of Cups. Okay, and the Two of Cups is like harmony, friendship, mutual trust, admiration, and really, this is a very strong soulmate connection, okay? Where you can get mad at each other, you can hate each other, but deep down, you really care about each other, okay? They care about your well-being, you care about their well-being. And so this is a really strong spiritual connection that can't be broken. And I usually look at this card and I think of it as reciprocity, okay? You always want to do right by the other person no matter what, and they likewise want to do right by you. So even if they're upset, they're still going to call you and express their concern. Even if you're upset with them, if they had a bad day, you're still going to want to, coax them out of their, I guess, like their depression, okay? So I do feel as well, there's definitely a mutual energy of compromise. For those of you who have been in a situation where there has been like physical distance, emotional distance, blockage in communication, I definitely feel communication is coming in with this Fool card. This is somebody who, so let's look at the depiction of it, okay? It reminds me of the Rider-Waite deck because of the way it's drawn, okay? Somebody is about to take a leap of faith. There's a dog here, okay? And he's traveling light. He wants to shed the baggage. I almost feel like somebody is giving up a lot in order to be with you. They're shedding the baggage, okay? So what I'm seeing here, this is a king, okay? He's got the crown on. And for him to travel light, be a pauper, and, wear like normal civilian clothes, I feel like he's had to, purge his lifestyle, his wardrobe, whatever it is. And, for cross watchers, whatever gender you are, this can be very well be a she. But what I'm feeling is somebody who's used to a specific certain lifestyle is willing to forego all of this in order to be with you. And they're taking a major risk. And because they're taking such a big risk, they want to know whether or not you're going to be around once they take this risk, okay? The birds, right? Like the eagles or whatever birds that you have, they land and then they take off, okay? So somebody might be thinking that you're a little bit unpredictable, you're a little bit flighty, and it leads me to believe that this person might not know you very well, okay? That's why they think that, because, deep down, Aquarius is a fixed sign. One of our ancient rulers is Saturn, and Saturn deals with structure, discipline, and it deals with, the whole fixity of like having Saturn as your ruler. And I mentioned this maybe like 2 months ago. When you say you're going to do something, and once your heart and your mind is committed to doing it, you will get it done. And once you tell somebody you're going to do something, you're going to follow through because you're a fixed sign, okay? It's like follow through or die trying. So I feel almost like you're not worried about whether or not you're going to be there. You know you're going to be there. The other person doesn't know that. And I feel like they might be projecting, I feel like you might not be dealing with another fixed sign. They might be projecting onto you, and they might feel like, I can change my mind. What if the Aquarius person changed theirs? So I feel like they're projecting energies or insecurities about themselves onto you, thinking you're not going to be around, thinking that you're going to be here today, gone tomorrow, thinking that, they can like scrap away this way of life or everything that they're used to having to be with you. And the scale have tipped. Okay, they've got a lot to lose. Okay, and this is the Justice card, by the way. And they're hoping that if I take this leap of faith, will the Aquarius person be there to receive me, like physically receive me? And I feel like they're not sure. They're not sure your commitment level. They're not sure whatever else you have going in your life. They're not sure how their life is going to, mesh in with your life. And all the while you're thinking, I feel like you're waiting on this person. And all the while you're feeling Two of Cups. This is an intertwined energy, okay? It's like, no matter what, we'll make it work. We'll kind of like intertwine our lives, intertwine our finances. We'll make do, because for you, it's like the commitment is there, and what I'm telling you, or what you're telling your person, is that I'm here for the long haul, and you need to overcome your own projections in order to accept what I'm saying at face value. So I feel like with this, eagle eye and this hawk-like energy is very fast, is very swift, and it's very, very deliberate. Whereas with this Fool and King of Wands energy is that it's very passionate. It strikes, but then I feel like it burns out. So you might be dealing with somebody who is not as fixed in their energy as you are, who is not as decisive, who is not as quick to execute a plan. Okay, so like they might take a lot of time to mull things over before they execute or make a decision. So I do sense in this situation they're kind of weighing things out, and if they're taking too long, there might be something coming in the interim to take their place. And I do feel like you might have another situation, kind of like tipping the scale. Okay, somebody's like, the scale is being tipped in somebody else's favor because this person might be taking too long. Okay? I mean, as much as, as committed as you are, if you're not getting the reciprocity, I do feel like, your attention can turn elsewhere if the other person is not reciprocating. Okay, so I do feel a situation here where someone has really taken their sweet time. They're waiting. I almost feel like this sense of entitlement coming through, like all the energy is shifting this way. And I'm feeling almost like a sense of entitlement. It's like, I'm the king. You should, be at my beck and call. You should come to me with the, what are those things where, the word just slipped my mind. It's like pay royalties, pay dues, pay homage to. You should come to me. So I feel like somebody is doing this, and they're getting very, very impatient. They're getting very antsy, and they're thinking about approaching you, but like they're not really sure how they're going to be received because you're kind of starting to turn away. Okay, do you see this? How her body is turned? It's looking straight at her, but her body is starting to turn. It's almost like, I'm done fetching, the water from this reservoir. I'm getting up and, I'm walking away. So I do see a situation here where somebody might have taken too long, or taking really their sweet time, or, feeling this sense of entitlement. And, I do sense in general, Aquarius people don't like it when other people make themselves out to be the middle of attention, like, the center of attention, and they expect everybody else to be at their beck and call. I feel like Aquarius people hate that sense of entitlement, that sense of like, the world should revolve around me. Okay, I feel like when you deal with people like that, you purposely don't give them the time of day, mainly just to spite them. And so you feel like there's somebody here where it's like they have this false sense of entitlement. And then I'm also sensing a situation where you're very much, I feel like these two cards are very similar. We have here the King of Wands and the Judgment card. Wanting to make communication, wanting contact. For some of you, you're dealing with somebody who might be, like a big deal in their world. Okay, so they might like be very popular. They might have a lot of friends. They might have like their professional life. They're like oh my gosh, all my vocabulary just slipped out of my mind. So, they're a force to be reckoned with in their world, okay? In their professional life, they might be high up there. In their social circle, they might be somebody that exhibits, that has like either like a really high social ranking, somebody who manages other people, somebody who a lot of people look up to, somebody with a lot of fame, with a lot of fortune, with, I'm seeing somebody who's very well off, who's very wealthy, who is... So what I'm feeling with this King of Wands and this Judgment card is it's somebody who is very well respected, okay? They have a lot to lose. But at the same time, I feel like with this egg, they're very, very vulnerable. Okay, once you crack that shell, and the shell is very, very fragile. Once you crack that shell, there's that, slippery, gooey yolk and inside of it. So I do feel like you're dealing with someone who's not hard to crack, who's very vulnerable. So they might put on the air that they're very, very domineering or overpowering or very, very strong. And they take up a lot of space. They take up a lot of room. They have like, a big persona, maybe a big ego. But I do feel that they're very soft inside and they need to be handled with kitty gloves. And they might need a lot of ego stroking. They might need a lot of reassurance and a lot of certainty. I feel like they're looking for some type of a certainty from you, some type of an assurance, some type of a promise, some type of a compromise coming in from your end to make them feel at ease, okay? And then the way that you're coming across to this person, we have the Star and the Sun. Once again, you're getting yourself up there. You're climbing that ladder. It could be a corporate ladder. You're doing things in a very, I want to say like laid back manner, and you're achieving the same results. Okay, so I feel like they see you with the Star and the Sun. It's somebody who attracts attention in a very quiet way, okay? Your inner strength, your quiet demeanor, the way you keep to yourself, the way you carry yourself. It's not all pomp and circumstance. It's very quiet. It's very soft, but it's very effective, okay? The strength and the charisma that you have, it's very underrated. And this is the first time the other person has come across somebody like you, because I feel like it's soft with the Star card. The light of the star, it twinkles, right? It catches your eyes, it catches your attention. And with the Sun, it's very warm. Okay, so I definitely feel like their world is a little bit cutthroat and hard. Your world is very spiritual and soft and warm. And they don't get that. They don't understand how that can be. How can, you climb that corporate ladder without being cutthroat? It's because you have skills, Aquarius. And then they're wondering, how can you achieve so much in such a short amount of time? And it's because you're smart, Aquarius. So I feel like they're very, very perplexed by you. They're in sheer admiration of you. And this is the first time where I keep seeing this. They're thrown off kilter, okay? The tipping scale, the tipping point. They're thrown off kilter. It's a very delicate balance for them to achieve everything in their life, their emotional stability as well as their financial stability. And it takes very, very little to like tip things from one side to the next. And I feel like you're that tipping point for them. They can't wrap their head around it. They're very, very perplexed. But I also feel like this person wants to be where you are and bask in the warmth and the spiritual life that you've created for yourself. And I feel a lot of it hinges upon you being, being you, doing your own thing, being very, very independent, dancing and walking and running to the beat of your own drums, okay? Not having to bend to the beck and call for anybody, okay? Having your vision and sticking to it and doing things in a very detached but also in a very smart manner. I feel like emotionally, they could be easily wound up. They're very passionate, is what it seems like to me. And they can be very wound up. And I feel like the way you are, and this is something a lot of people complain about, but I feel like it's working to your benefit. You're very detached and sharp, and you don't get, you look at things very objectively. So even if you like a person, if they display flaws, you are in a position where you can call them out on it, okay? It doesn't diminish the love that you feel for them. It just means that you're not looking through at life through like blinders, okay? So I feel like they're just very perplexed. And I also feel a situation where, the way you interact with this person's very, like, at the beginning, they could come at you very passionately, and you've kept your distance, and you're just like, wait a minute, that's a little bit too intense and a little bit too much. And then you kind of detach, and then now they're thinking, maybe the Aquarius doesn't like me, and that's why they're thinking that the ball's in your court to make the next move if you're interested. So they have significantly backed off. And I feel like if you're dealing with a person like this, what it's saying is, give them the sign, and in a heartbeat, they'll run towards you, okay? In a heartbeat. That's a cool image, in a heartbeat. So that's what I'm sensing here. Aside from that, there is another message. Give me one moment, okay? So I feel like for many of you, there might be something very lucrative coming in. So I keep seeing, so when I was looking at this balancing scale, I felt like there might have been a giant pentacle dropped. It seems like there's a giant pentacle drop down, like on this side, and it weighs everything down. So what I feel is some of you might have just, created a really good life for yourself. So for example, just an example, which might apply actually to many of you. You've cultivated a life for yourself, a social circle, like a routine, whatever it is. You're comfortable where you are, okay? And I feel like there's a job beckoning you to move further away. And it's a wonderful new opportunity. And so you're kind of like trying to figure out, should I stay here where I'm really comfortable? And I feel like this is not, it's comfortable, but it's not stagnant. So it's good to stay in because, you on the one hand, you crave the excitement, but 2020 is a number 4 year. And the number 4 year, if you can think of, 4 legs to a table, it's very, very comfortable. Collapse in on itself. It won't cave in, right? And so that's what I feel like. You spent a lot of time building this very comfortable life. It took a really long time to get there. And you're finally there and you're looking to, exhale and look at the world that you've created and just enjoy a little bit of like a rest and relaxation, and then something amazing, an amazing opportunity comes into the picture. And I feel like for some of you, this could be a job, this can be a partner. And I do see there's a little bit of a distance between you and this job, or between you and this partner, or between you and this new opportunity. And so it's asking you, do you take the leap of faith, or do you stay with the status quo? And, that's to be determined. And it's going to be different for all of you. But I definitely feel it's going to be a very transformative month. It's going to be a month filled with revelations and communication and closure. Closure as in, I wonder what that was all about. And then you finally get the answer and you're just like, okay, now I get that. I get what it was all about, and I don't have to think about it anymore. Okay, in that way, like that mental closure, so that you can stop ruminating. It doesn't mean, closure, shutting doors, letting go. I don't feel it's like that. I just feel it's like leaving the emotional baggage behind. When I was looking at the notepad, and how she's like thumbing through the page, what it seems like to me, those the notepads with the blue line so that you can write on them, right? What it seems like to me is all the water leaking onto the pages and making the lines smear, so none of the pages are clean. It seems to me a little bit like tears. Okay, there was a situation you've spilled tears over. You were wondering what if. You were wondering what happened. You were wondering, I feel like some of you might have been very hurt over everything that transpired. And so now you're at a point where you're trying to find a clean page, and you have found a clean page. And you can rewrite your story or continue writing your story. And so I feel like something is pulling you in this direction, into the future, into the unknown, and into something grand and amazing. And so what we're left with is pretty much being torn, caught in the middle, being torn between two things, okay? One is like something very, very passionate. Somebody is in full pursuit of you, Aquarius. You're right in the middle, and you're looking dead straight at them. But physically, you're turned towards this situation with the Two of Cups. Okay, so I definitely feel straddling. You're usually very decisive, Aquarius. Okay, but somebody is somebody's waiting for you to make a move. They drop the ball in your court, and they're waiting for you to pick up the ball and decide if you're gonna play with them. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here. It's going to be a really amazing month, Aquarius. The last card, actually, there's one last card. I feel this of community, okay? Sharing, like, I'm hearing, like, breaking bread, okay? Breaking bread with people, like, sharing. It's weird. I heard sharing nutrients, okay? So you're going to be mingling and just having a really amazing time with a lot of people. And I do feel for many of you it's family related, which is great because we're heading into the holiday season. I don't see like things coming back from the past, which is great because I'm here. And we're dealing with like new energies, or at least very transformative new energies, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. Take care of yourself. And for those who are interested in a reading, please click on the link in the description box below. I have a link to a colleague of mine. Her name is Bridget, and she is a phenomenal reader. I highly recommend that you book a reading with her if you're looking for guidance, or if you're looking for, insights, whatever it is, okay? I will leave it at that. I wish you all